The darkness continues.
Peace, folk, and welcome back to another edition of the Proper to Thought series right here on the old T.P.O.T. YouTube page. I'm your host, X, of course, but you knew that already. That's why your black asses are here. Well, I'm back with another. And yes, the darkness does continue, good folk. Today, we're focusing on a YouTube crazy. And I don't mean some of the people that you've been listening to lately. This is actually a blast from the past. This lady here, maybe some of you remember, she went to YouTube and shot a few people, walked in there with a 9mm, and the reason for it is that they had demonetized her channel. If you good folk remember, if you go back, I believe 4 or 5 years ago, YouTube stopped monetizing you if you didn't have at least 1,000 subscribers and I believe 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, this lady, she was a YouTuber, and one can assume she was making some coin on YouTube, but I believe she only had about, I don't know, maybe 800 subscribers, I believe. But back then, you didn't have to have 1,000 subscribers to make money. And her channel got quite a few views, even though she didn't have a lot of subscribers. So when YouTube brought the hammer down and stopped her monetization, she thought that YouTube ruined her life. So she went there to, I don't know, put a hot one in a few folks. But we're going to roll this along. And I believe her name was Nasim something. Some crazy name. But as you can see, you're looking at these videos, she wasn't doing anything, fantastic that, would have people believe that, she was this big time YouTuber. She didn't have, the millions of subscribers or thousands of subscribers. But from what I understand, she got quite a few views. So she was making, some type of money. But if you look at, just these snippets of what she's doing here, you can surmise that she probably had some type of mental problems. That's something that a lot of YouTubers have, because YouTube provides this outlet, for folks. You can see she had this sign up, she thought YouTube was ruining her life and, making all these things happen to her. And I think she was fine with it until they demonetized her. And once they demonetized her, I think that's when the problems started. Because for some reason, some people get on YouTube, man, and YouTube is all they have. Something happens to YouTube, they will find the nearest bridge and jump off of it. And she was one of those people. But instead of, just finding the nearest bridge and jumping off of it, she decided to go to YouTube itself, man, and extract her revenge on them. It's tragic and it's sad. And what I can say is this, man. And what y'all seeing now is, when the cops came there, after she had, shot at folks, the people at YouTube was trying to get up out the building, you know, because she ran up in there with the 9, and she shot a few people before ultimately killing herself. Maybe that's what she wanted to do all along. Maybe she felt the need to kill herself, and being that she was able to get access to the YouTube headquarters, she went ahead and, you know, went there and shot a few people, and like I said, ultimately killed herself right there on the YouTube premises. Because, you know, some people, man, they kill themselves to make a statement. And she was so caught up in YouTube that she decided to make her final statement there. That's where she wanted to make her last stand. But it's like, all to what end, man? Because with all of that, with all the shooting of people, because I think she shot like 3 or 4 people, she killed herself there on the YouTube compound, and guess what? Everybody was right back to work the next day. YouTube is bigger than it's ever been. So I tell people all the time, man, I mean, YouTube is what it is, man. And I know some people, you know, they make a good living off of this. They make good money off of this. I get it. But I'm a true believer that that is not going to be all of us. Some of us will never get rich off of this. I was on Brother Bernard's, man, a few days back, man, and I was talking about this. And I said, hey, look, man, you know, we're basically just preaching to the choir any damn way, because everybody who listens to you pretty much agrees with you for the most part. Some of us have choirs that are 100,000 people. Some of us have choirs that are 100 people. Some of us have choirs that are 1 million people. I mean, that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And if you look at some of the stuff on YouTube, man, you'll know that, you know, I think there's people on here that aren't too far from where this woman was. Only difference is they don't know where YouTube is. Because if they did, they would probably do the same damn thing. But we're going to take a look at this story, man, because it's kind of crazy. It's kind of bizarre. And I think it's an example of a person getting too wrapped up in what media is and letting it literally take over their lives. So let's get at it with a few news clips and some story. So let's have a listen to a video from CBS about this crazy blast from the past. And as always, Negroes, fair use.
We do have new details about the woman who opened fire at YouTube's California headquarters and why she may have chosen that target. Police have identified the shooter as 39-year-old Nasim Aghdam. She's from San Diego.
She shot and wounded 3 people with a handgun before apparently killing herself. In several videos posted online, Aghdam accuses YouTube of censoring her videos, and she expresses anger about the company.
The gunfire, yes.
YouTube is suppressing me. I gotta go there and shoot it up.
Yesterday afternoon sent YouTube employees rushing from the building for safety. All 3 shooting victims were hospitalized, 1 in critical condition. John Blackstone is outside the YouTube headquarters in San Bruno, California. John, good morning.
Good morning. Well, police cordoned off this area as officers continue their investigation on YouTube's campus here. A motive is still unclear, but police say there's no evidence that the shooter knew any of the victims or that anyone was specifically targeted.
We have a report of subject with a gun.
Police arrived at YouTube's headquarters 2 minutes after receiving reports of an active shooter.
She was doing this. That's what she was doing.
YouTube employee Diana Arnsparger says she heard gunshots and saw the shooter from the office's second floor.
And I ran to the window because the window behind me looks over the patio, and I saw her. And it was a woman, and she was firing her gun. And I just said, shoot her, and everybody started running.
Heavily armed police swarmed YouTube's campus and could be seen searching employees. Ed Barberini is San Bruno police chief.
Upon arrival, officers encountered numerous employees fleeing from the building. It was very chaotic, as you can imagine. We conducted a quick, immediate search of the premises.
When police arrived at the scene at 12:48, they found a wounded victim at the building's front entrance. Officers continued searching room by room through the sprawling 200,000 square foot office complex.
See, this is what this is what happens when YouTube rules your life. But we continue.
Complex. Within minutes, police say they found the deceased shooter outside in a connected courtyard.
I saw there were still a couple of people crouched behind tables, so I went to go look to see if, they were still outside, and then that's when I saw someone in front of the doors lying on the ground.
2 other victims wounded by the shooter took refuge in nearby restaurants.
She got shot in the calf, and they took her into Carl's Jr., where they put her on the table. I got a bungee cord, I tied it above her leg to stop the bleeding.
YouTube's parent company, Google, says it's cooperating with authorities in the investigation. There are questions about how the woman gained access to this building. CBS News contributor Nicholas Thompson was here at YouTube's headquarters just about 2 weeks ago, and he says that while a badge is needed to get into certain parts of the building, that there is no security or metal detector as you go in the building's main entrance.
Now, the Negroes hear that. Don't let me find out that y'all up there in Bruno, California, trying to walk into YouTube and see what's going on and ask them why they suppressing your views and blackballing you and all this kind of foolishness. Y'all be up at YouTube. We continue.
Gail?
Boy, a lot of people will be rethinking security today. Thank you very much, John.
Yeah, you gotta have security because, some of these people on YouTube are lunatics. So you have to. And it's crazy that she's the only person that did this. It's crazy that she's the only person that did this. Because I can think of probably 5 to 10 people, right offhand who are one YouTube strike from doing this. But let's read. It says here, terrified employees fled as gunfire rang out at YouTube's sprawling headquarters in San Bruno, California on Tuesday, prompting a mass police response. An evacuation as the victims were transported to nearby hospitals. San Bruno police identified the suspect late Tuesday as Nasim Najafi Aghdam, 39, who was found dead from what authorities believe is a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So, like most mass shooters, they go in there, they shoot folks, and then at the end of it, they kill themselves because they're cowardly and they don't want to face the consequences of the things that they just done. But we continue. San Bruno Police Chief Ed Barberini said 3 people were transported to local hospitals with gunshot wounds. The department said it is working to identify a motive for the shooting. We know what the motive is now. YouTube stopped monetizing people with less than 1,000 subscribers. But it continues. Earlier reports indicated that the suspect may have known one of the victims, but police said late Tuesday that at this time there is no evidence that the shooter knew the victims of the shooting or that the individuals were specifically targeted. And it says here, this little footnote, it says, family says shooter thought YouTube was ruining her life. Shooter went to gun range before she opened fire at the YouTube headquarters. So she planned to do this. YouTube had got on her damn nerve. So she had to go there and try to kill folks. Yeah, she had to go there and try to kill folks. As you can see, here's our crazy YouTuber here. All right. But it continues. Chief Barberini said police arrived at the scene 12:48 p.m. local time and encountered frantic employees fleeing the building. It was very chaotic, as you can imagine, he said. Responding officers encountered one victim with a gunshot wound toward the front of the building before finding the deceased suspect. Barberini said several minutes later, police located 2 additional victims at an adjacent building. Barberini later said that the suspect used a handgun and there was no further threat to the community. Says San Bruno police investigate motive. Police say they are investigating the motive for the shooting, which we know now is because they demonetized her channel. But Aghdam's videos and website are filled with criticisms of YouTube. Sources said she initially asked for one of the male victims by name and that she used a 9mm handgun during the shooting. She rolled in there with the Glock, ready to go kaplow, kaplow, because YouTube had pissed her off. But it continues. Jacqueline Schildkraut, an expert on mass shootings research and assistant professor at the State University of New York, told CBS News that it was very uncommon to see a female suspect carry out this type of shooting. Women made up only 4% of the mass shooting suspects in the United States between 1966 and 2016, Schildkraut said. However, Tuesday's shooting might not fit the definition of a mass shooting. The Gun Violence Archive defined it as 4 or more people shot or killed, excluding the shooter. It says here the suspect criticized YouTube, which I've done many times myself and along with the rest of us, but it continues. The suspect's father, Ismail Aghdam, told CBS Los Angeles his daughter had gone missing for several days and that he called the police because he was concerned over her recent anger at YouTube. Let this be a warning to you people's family members. The people who express extreme anger towards YouTube, you better watch them, man. They may show up to YouTube headquarters with the Glock, start unloading. So be careful. But it continues. He said police eventually found his daughter and said she was in a car in Mountain View, about 28 miles south of San Bruno. When the family realized she was close to YouTube headquarters, they told police. She said the company was ruining her life. He said police told the family they would keep an eye on her, which they obviously didn't because she was able to make the YouTube and start capping folk. But it continues. The family believes she did not know anyone at YouTube personally. Well, she thought she did because obviously this woman was insane. But it continues. A Mountain View police spokesperson confirmed to CBS News that they located a woman by the same name asleep in a car early Tuesday. They confirmed that this was a missing person from Southern California and had notified her family. Ismail Aghdam told Mercury News his daughter was angry because the company stopped paying for content she posted online. They stopped paying for content she posted online. So now's time for a PSA, a public service announcement. If YouTube demonetizes you, don't go there and shoot up the company. Speak with someone. Seek out a therapist or a psychologist or a counselor. The more you know. But it continues. Her website accuses new closed-minded YouTube employees of reducing her view count, suppressing her, and discouraging her from creating content on the video's platform. In a now-deleted video, she complained that YouTube began filtering her page and adding restrictions to her videos. Wow. Just ridiculous, man. Just ridiculous. 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 But it continues down here. It says several employees tweeted they heard gunfire Tuesday afternoon. Vadim Labrusik said he barricaded himself and others inside a room before they were able to escape safely from the crazy YouTuber with the gun. Todd Sherman, a product manager at the company, tweeted that he saw blood drips on the floor and stairs. He says, I looked down and saw blood drips on the floor and stairs, peeked around for threats, and then we headed downstairs and out of the front.
Dark exit, dark exit, dark exit.
Where's San Bruno? YouTube's headquarters is about 12 miles south of downtown San Francisco, close to San Francisco International Airport. It encompasses about 200,000 square feet, and YouTube leases the building from Gap Inc., according to a 2017 article in the San Francisco Business Times. Google says there are more than 1,100 employees at the office and that YouTube is San Bruno's largest employer. I'm sure they are. With a variety of people dedicated engineering and sales, about 43,000 residents live in the city. The owner of the nearby restaurant told CBS News he was outside smoking a cigarette when he heard several pops. Denny, who didn't want to give his last name, said there was a brief pause in the gunfire before it continued. He said he heard a total of about 15 to 17 shots. It went on for a while, those shots. It wasn't like emptying the clip, like boom, boom, boom. It was more of a slower pace, Denny said. So it was more like kaplow, 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 kaplow. But yeah, man, I mean, it's nuts. You know, it is nuts. This lady went to YouTube and started shooting folks, all because her channel got demonetized. All because her channel got demonetized. Now, you look at some of her videos, from what you saw, you can tell, you know, she was definitely suffering from U.M.I, Undiagnosed Mental Illness. And YouTube gave her, I don't know, some type of outlet, I guess. I mean, maybe it was like therapy. Maybe that kept her from, you know, going out and shooting other folk. I don't know. And it's weird because look at this. Now, looking at her page, I mean, you know, obviously this page was put up after this because she killed herself in 2018, and I believe this page was put up. Maybe this is her page. Maybe this is her original page. I don't know. Maybe it is. But that some of these videos, you know, were put up 5 months ago, you know, another 5 months ago, 5 months ago. So somebody's obviously was loading up her videos, right? Now, you look at some of them, right? And even though she only has 581 subscribers on this page, look at her views. 12,000, 7,000, 6,000, 6,000. Another one, 5,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. I mean, so she was getting some views. I mean, the last video put up got 12,000 views. The next one before that, 7,000 views. I mean, I've been on YouTube for 7 years, and I think I got one video that got maybe 8,000 or 9,000 views. I mean, I cap out at like 8.5 thousand. So she was getting some views, and obviously she was making some coin off of AdSense. And that's what kind of, you know, I guess took her over the edge, because as I said earlier, YouTube stopped monetizing people who had less than 1,000 views and 4,000, you know, watch hours. So, you know, YouTube was messing with her money because, you know, like I said, she was getting, you know, she got a few thousand views off of her videos, you know, and it's not like she was doing anything, you know, fantastic. I mean, she was basically doing stuff like this, right? This was her thing, right? So it wasn't like she was doing, you know, anything, you know, fantastic, you know. I mean, you see some videos here from like 5 months ago where, you know, she was doing, you know, her crazy dances and, you know, wearing a bunch of crazy makeup and a bunch of crazy outfits and, you know, workouts and, you know, just, you know, eccentric, if you will, stuff. And like I said, you look at some of these videos, man, these videos were just put up like 5 months ago. So obviously somebody's got access to her page and they're loading, I guess, some of her old stuff up. And I don't know why they're doing it because, like I said, the channel only has 581 subscribers. So once those few coins stop coming in, you know, she totally lost whatever little bit of mind she had left. And she felt the need to go to YouTube and start shooting at folks. So, I mean, let this be a lesson to you crazy YouTubers, you know, because like I said, you know, a lot of people walking around here with U.M.I, you know, and she was obviously one of them walking around here with U.M.I, and she lost that AdSense money, and she said, you know what, I'm tired of this. I can't deal with this. I must go and shoot someone. I must go and shoot someone. But at the end of it all, man, the moral of the story is never let something get you so wound up, man, and get into something where it's to the point where you need to go and hurt other people. I mean, me personally, I mean, anything short of you doing something to, like, you know, my wife or my grandkids or somebody in my family or something like that, I mean, I'm not going to be ready to go to your headquarters, man, and shoot the people that work there, you know? I mean, it's sort of like those, remember the saying is to be like someone's going postal, because people were going into post offices, you know, disgruntled employees were coming back from a job they had been fired from or laid off or had a problem with, you know, the boss, and they would go into the post office and shoot people. And I mean, it's not that serious, man, you know, especially for most of us, man. Most of us, it's not that serious when it comes to this YouTube stuff, man. It's not that serious. It's not. It's not. I mean, if you're a person and you sitting on 500-600 subscribers, man, I mean, YouTube is basically a hobby for you for the most part. It's a hobby. Because if you only got that many subscribers, that means you're not making any money off of AdSense. You're not getting any super chats. You may be collecting something off of maybe PayPal or, you know, Cash App or something like that. But I mean, at 500-600 subscribers, it's not really that lucrative. And it's definitely not worth going to YouTube headquarters and start capping folk. It's definitely not that serious. But let this be a lesson to you YouTubers out there. you know, the ones who sitting on 5 and 6 and 700 subscribers, and you've been sitting there for the past 8-9 years. Don't let me find out you done made your way to YouTube trying to extract some vengeance for what you think YouTube is doing to you. Because, see, I don't understand why she went there. I mean, obviously, you know, she's a person that suffered from U.M.I, but what did she think she was going to go there and do? Go there and make them monetize her videos? Go there and ask them why? I mean, what did she think was going to happen when she got there? Or maybe, just maybe, she had planned on killing herself anyway because YouTube had demonetized her. And she figured, what the hell? Maybe I'll take a couple YouTube people with me, because she believed that YouTube had ruined her life. That's what she believed. See, I don't believe that. I believe that U.M.I. ruined her life. Undiagnosed mental illness ruined her life. And this is probably why she made videos like this. But that's all. I appreciate you good folks coming through, man. You know, you could have spent your time anywhere. You decided to spend it here with T.P.O.T. I don't take you good folks lightly, man. I never have and I never will. You got my word on that. So, with that, I will leave you good folk with 3 words. You know, like I always do. Open your mind. Peace, folk. X with another.
The darkness continues.
Only from T.P.O.T. Media. Open your minds.